The disappearance of Daniel Robinson in the vast, unforgiving expanse of the Arizona desert near Buckeye on June 23, 2021, is a haunting, deeply unsettling enigma, a stark and heartbreaking narrative of a life seemingly erased without a trace, a vanishing act that defies easy explanation, leaving behind a swirling vortex of unanswered questions, conflicting pieces of evidence, frustrating dead ends, and the enduring, agonizing pain of a family desperately searching for answers, for closure, for any shred of information that might illuminate the final, tragically missing chapter of their son's life. While the discovery, months later, of a human skull subsequently and definitively identified through DNA analysis as belonging to Daniel, provided a fragment of tragic resolution, a confirmation of the worst fears, it simultaneously and cruelly deepened the mystery, raising far more questions than it answered, shifting the focus, the energy, and the emotional weight of the case from a desperate search for a missing person, a search fueled by a flickering flame of hope, to a painstaking, complex, and often frustrating quest for understanding the precise circumstances of his death. A quest for truth and justice in a landscape that seems to hold its secrets close. The case, kept relentlessly in the public eye through the tireless, unwavering advocacy and the deeply personal crusade of his father, David Robinson, continues to resonate with a chilling, almost visceral power, a testament to the enduring human need for closure, for answers in the face of the inexplicable and the unsettling, profoundly disturbing reality of a disappearance that defies easy categorization, that resists simple explanations, and that continues to haunt the collective consciousness. The stark, unforgiving, and almost alien landscape of the Arizona desert, with its towering saguaros, its hidden canyons, and its vast, sun-baked expanses, becomes a central, almost symbolic character in this tragic story. A silent, impassive witness to a human drama that remains shrouded in a thick, impenetrable fog of mystery. Daniel Robinson, a 24-year-old geologist, a young man described by those who knew him as bright, inquisitive, passionate about his work, and deeply connected to his family, was, in many ways, a man who seemingly embraced the challenges and the solitude of the desert landscape. His profession, the study of the earth, of rocks, minerals, and the processes that shape our planet, took him regularly to remote, often desolate locations, places far removed from the hustle and bustle of city life. On that fateful day, June 23, 2021, he left a worksite in the Buckeye area, a sprawling, rapidly developing suburb west of Phoenix, driving his distinctive blue 2017 Jeep Renegade, a vehicle well suited to the rugged terrain, into the vast, seemingly endless expanse of the Sonoran Desert, a landscape of stark beauty and hidden dangers. This seemingly routine departure, a normal, unremarkable part of his daily work routine, became, with terrifying swiftness, the starting point of a baffling, heartbreaking, and ultimately tragic mystery. The moment when Daniel Robinson seemingly vanished from the face of the earth, leaving behind only a scattering of perplexing clues, a void of unanswered questions, and a family plunged into the agonizing depths of uncertainty and despair. When Daniel failed to return home that evening, when he failed to make contact with his family or his employer, when his phone went unanswered straight to voicemail, the initial concern quickly escalated into alarm, and then into a chilling, gut-wrenching fear that something was terribly, irrevocably wrong. What began as a search for a missing person, a search fueled by a desperate hope that he would be found alive and well, quickly and tragically, evolved into something far more complex, far more unsettling, and far more emotionally devastating. A case characterized by deeply perplexing clues, contradictory and often ambiguous pieces of evidence, a frustrating lack of definitive answers, and a growing, gnawing sense of dread that permeated every aspect of the investigation. The discovery of Daniel's Jeep Renegade, several weeks after his disappearance, crashed and abandoned in a remote, rugged ravine, a significant distance from any paved road, provided a crucial yet deeply perplexing and ultimately frustrating piece of the puzzle. A focal point of intense scrutiny and a source of endless speculation and debate. The vehicle itself was severely damaged, extensively battered, the airbags deployed, indicating a significant, potentially violent impact, a collision with considerable force. Yet the circumstances surrounding the crash, the precise details of the scene, were immediately and deeply suspicious, raising far more questions than they answered, fueling a growing sense of unease and a suspicion that this was not a simple, straightforward accident. Daniel's personal belongings, his clothes, his wallet containing identification and credit cards, his cell phone and his keys were all found inside the vehicle. An unsettling, almost inexplicable detail that suggested strongly that he had not wandered far from the crash site, at least not initially, that he had not intentionally abandoned his possessions. However, despite the presence of these crucial items, there was absolutely no sign of Daniel himself, no indication of his direction of travel after the crash, no blood evidence, either inside or outside the vehicle, that would suggest a serious, debilitating injury that would have prevented him from seeking help, from attempting to walk out of the desert. The vehicle's data recorder, while partially damaged in the crash, reportedly indicated, according to investigators, that the vehicle had been driven after the initial airbag deployment, suggesting multiple impacts, a series of collisions, a detail that fueled intense speculation about the possibility of foul play, of a deliberate attempt to stage the scene, to make the crash look like an accident when, in reality, something far more sinister had occurred. The presence of his belongings, so carefully left behind, yet the complete utter absence of Daniel himself, created a chilling, almost paradoxical scenario, a puzzle with missing pieces, a narrative that defied easy explanation, that resisted any simple, logical interpretation. The theories surrounding Daniel Robinson's disappearance, fueled by the lack of definitive answers, the conflicting evidence, and the inherent human need to make sense of the senseless, to find a narrative that can explain the inexplicable, are numerous, diverse, and often contradictory, ranging from the plausible and evidence-based to the highly speculative and bordering on the fantastical. One prominent, and perhaps the most initially obvious theory, is that Daniel suffered a severe head injury in the crash, a traumatic brain injury that led to disorientation, confusion, amnesia, and a subsequent fatal inability to navigate the harsh, unforgiving desert environment, to find his way back to civilization, to seek help. This theory, while plausible, is complicated by the lack of significant blood evidence at the scene and the fact that his belongings were left behind. Another theory, less charitable but nonetheless persistent, suggests that Daniel may have, for reasons unknown, intentionally staged his own disappearance, seeking to escape from his life, to start anew. Although this scenario seems deeply inconsistent with his established character, his strong work ethic, his close ties to his family, and the lack of any indication that he was planning such a drastic move. The possibility of foul play, while not officially confirmed or ruled out by law enforcement, cannot and should not be dismissed given the highly unusual and deeply suspicious circumstances surrounding the vehicle's condition, the multiple impacts recorded by the data recorder, and the complete utter lack of any trace of Daniel in the immediate vicinity of the crash site, despite extensive and repeated search efforts. The desert itself, with its extreme temperatures, its often treacherous terrain, its lack of readily available water sources, and its dangerous wildlife, including venomous snakes and scorpions, presents a formidable and potentially deadly challenge to survival, even for experienced outdoorsmen, making it a plausible, though tragically heartbreaking, explanation for his disappearance. However, the persistent lack of definitive answers, the conflicting and often ambiguous nature of the available evidence, and the enduring, almost palpable mystery surrounding the crash site and Daniel's final moments continue to fuel intense speculation, debate, and a growing sense of frustration, both within the online community of amateur sleuths and among those closest to the case. The tireless, unwavering and deeply personal advocacy of Daniel's father, David Robinson, a man driven by an unshakable love for his son and an unrelenting determination to find answers, to uncover the truth no matter how painful that truth may be, has been a crucial and profoundly moving element in keeping the case in the public eye, in maintaining pressure on law enforcement to continue the investigation, and in mobilizing a vast network of volunteers and supporters to assist in the search efforts. He has organized numerous meticulously planned searches of the vast desert landscape, often in brutally hot and challenging conditions. He has hired private investigators to pursue leads and explore alternative theories, and he has tirelessly and effectively utilized social media platforms, particularly Facebook and Twitter, to raise awareness about his son's disappearance, to solicit information from the public, to share updates on the investigation, and to keep Daniel's story alive in the collective consciousness. His unwavering determination to find his son, his refusal to give up hope, even in the face of overwhelming odds and agonizing uncertainty, and his vocal, often pointed criticism of the initial handling of the case by local law enforcement, particularly the Buckeye Police Department, have resonated deeply with many, highlighting the often frustrating, emotionally draining and ultimately heartbreaking challenges faced by families of missing persons in navigating the often complex and bureaucratic processes of the legal system, in dealing with the limitations of search and rescue efforts, and in coping with the agonizing uncertainty of not knowing what happened to their loved one. His personal tragedy, his deeply personal loss, has become a symbol, a powerful representation of the enduring strength of parental love, the unwavering pursuit of truth and justice, and the profound impact that a single missing person case can have on a family, a community, and the wider world. The discovery of a human skull in a remote area not far from where Daniel's vehicle had been found, and its subsequent definitive identification through DNA analysis as belonging to Daniel, brought a wave of devastating grief, a confirmation of the worst possible outcome. But it also, paradoxically, introduced a new layer of complexity and mystery to the already perplexing case. While the finding provided a tragic, undeniable answer to the question of Daniel's ultimate fate, it simultaneously and cruelly raised a multitude of new and even more disturbing questions. How did his skull end up separated from the rest of his remains? Was this the result of animal activity, the natural processes of decomposition in the harsh desert environment, or was there a more sinister explanation? Was the location of the skull the actual site of his death, or had his remains been moved, either by natural forces or by human intervention? The discovery, while providing a degree of closure in one sense, a finality that had been agonizingly absent, also opened up a new and potentially even more challenging chapter in the investigation, shifting the focus from a search for a missing person to a complex and potentially criminal investigation into the precise circumstances of his death. A death that now appeared even more suspicious, more unsettling and more difficult to explain. The finding of the skull, a stark and undeniable symbol of mortality, served as a chilling reminder of the fragility of life and the enduring power of mystery. The Daniel Robinson case in its totality is a profoundly haunting, deeply unsettling and ultimately heartbreaking reminder of the inherent fragility of life, the unpredictable, often cruel nature of fate, and the enduring, often frustrating power of mystery, particularly in cases where crucial pieces of evidence are missing, where witnesses are absent or unreliable, and where the circumstances surrounding a disappearance or death defy easy explanation, resist simple categorization. It is a story of a young man, full of life, full of potential, full of promise, who vanished, seemingly without a trace, into the vast, unforgiving expanse of the Arizona desert, leaving behind a void, an emptiness that can never be truly filled, a legacy of grief, uncertainty, and unanswered questions. It is a story of a family's unwavering love, their relentless, courageous, and deeply inspiring pursuit of answers. Their refusal to give up hope, even in the face of overwhelming odds and agonizing uncertainty, is a testament to the enduring power of the human spirit, the unbreakable bonds of family, and the unwavering commitment to finding truth and justice, no matter how long it takes, no matter how difficult the journey, are truly remarkable. The harsh, unforgiving, and almost mythic landscape of the Arizona desert, the silent, impassive witness to this unfolding tragedy, serves as a constant, powerful, and deeply symbolic reminder. It reminds us of the challenges involved in solving such cases, of the limitations of human knowledge, and of the enduring, often heartbreaking, need for answers, for closure, and for justice in the face of profound, inexplicable loss. The chilling silence surrounding the precise circumstances of Daniel Robinson's disappearance and death, the unanswered questions that continue to swirl around the case like desert dust devils, and the enduring mystery of what truly happened in those final unseen moments make this case a profoundly disturbing, deeply unsettling, and ultimately unforgettable one. It is a case that will likely continue to haunt the public consciousness, to fuel speculation, and to demand answers for years to come. It is a case that underscores the vital importance of continued investigation, of unwavering dedication to finding the truth, and of a collective commitment to ensuring that Daniel Robinson and his family receive the justice they deserve. A justice that, however delayed, remains the ultimate and perhaps the only source of lasting peace.